ain't got heaven inside. No negative vibes.
I switched it up on him, everybody. I brought him in real early with the tunes going.
I was trying to set it up so I could stream to my audience too. And all of a sudden I look, I seen the tiny left-hand corner. I'm right next to you. And I was like, oh, I have my working face on. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't see you well. Oh, what is going on? Hello.
Namaste, fellow waves. In the ocean of love and consciousness, we are back on the stream. We got our boy, somebody like you, Ben Myers, turning the TikTok around so they can see it too. What the hell is going on, brother? Let's say hi to everybody.
Hello. Actually, I gotta move over to the comments here. What
So
up?
this is a new cat. We got, actually, he's a bird. He's not a cat. This is Birdman Riley from Kingston, who came in yesterday hot and was bringing a lot of love and light energy. So he is a new guy to the stream. Namaste. We are one, brother.
Hell yeah.
We got Linz, we got Lisa Jude, Namaste, our spiritual mumsy and sissy. Lorianne LA is here, fellow waves. She made her way back to the Love and Light stream. She's been going through it, but she's just walking the path like nobody else can. Only Lorianne can, like she can, baby. And who else we got? Lisa Jude saying, come on, Colts. Linz, go Colts. There's Erica Lovely. Namaste, Erica Lovely. Hope you're doing well. And we're already getting into some hockey talk. So I'm really excited to see Lorianne here. I mean, Lorianne said in the group today, she's just been doing what she does when she's going through it. Take a step away, sit back, think about it, process, come back to oneself. She set some boundaries that are going well. I'm very excited about that, brother.
Hell yeah. I love me boundaries. I usually hate enforcing them. That's how boundaries work. Anytime I'm working with somebody and we're talking about them with my clients, I usually have this like shit-eating grin on my face because I love working through them because I think they're some of the most powerful things. And the biggest thing I'll say this directly to LA. I'm going to look you in the face. These boundaries are for nobody else but you. That's the only, when we start thinking the boundaries are about us or about them and what they can't do, what they shouldn't be saying, why they shouldn't come around, we're getting it all twisted up. The number one thing about boundaries is I do this with my clients, and maybe this will help somebody. I hope it does. I like to call them positive boundaries. It's not focusing on all of the things that we don't want people to do. It's bringing in all of the things that we're looking to attract more of. So what are the positive boundaries? What are you looking to bring in? Is it more love? Is it more respect? Is it more peace? Is it more happiness? Is it more joy? Is it more presence? Is it more grounding? Is it more alignment? Is it more love? Are those things that kind of come in? And if so, the only question you now have to ask yourself, because it's a narrative shift, it isn't what don't I want? It's, is this in alignment with what I'm bringing in? And if that answer is yes, you go, it stays. And if that answer is no, it slowly just shifts away. We just pull back our energy and our attention to it. And I've seen that heal relationships with estranged daughters. It's been wild. So that is my little rant to start this as I got the energy flowing. So thank you for showing up, LA, being vulnerable and talking about it, because you just, got me going.
Holy frick. Ben Myers coming in shooting hot flames. And even I posted on his post today, he's just spitting super hot fire of love and light. This is amazing. This is the first time I spoke and felt heard by my mom. Wow.
Let's go. That's a celebration.
Because Ben, if you're not aware, her mother-in-law and her mother lives with her. Okay, so they are like on opposite ends of the house, from what I understand. And her mom is very stubborn, hard-headed, been giving her a lot of grief on her cutting out meat and just been really judgmental, and it's a lot.
Yeah, no, that judgment of others, that will really have us look in the mirror and see how we truly feel about ourselves. Oh, man.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful gift on a platter covered in seeming dog doo-doo going, this feels like shit. But as we know here in the Love and Light stream, looks and smells and disgust can be deceiving, because every present moment may seem like a big pile of dog shit, but it is wrapped in love and light. And it's just for you to do the work to see through that to the gift that it is, Lorianne. And I know you were doing that work. And I know you said you were playing your affirmation songs on repeat today, playing your playlist, sitting with it. That is the work. That is the work. And as I said in our community, I said, Lorianne said, I've been AWOL, I've been doing my thing, just stepping away, but that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to step away. And I use it at the analogy of Collective Memorial as the bonfire. And we trudge our way through the forest of the world, chopping and slashing monsters and fighting. It's cold, it's wet, but then we see the flames through the trees. And we get there and we can dry out our gear. We can put down our weapons. We can get some food. We can share around the fire about our journey, compare notes on the path with fellow journeyers on the path of remembrance. And then you go back out with a little less armor, with a little more surrender, with a little less fight. And every time you return, you relight that torch, you're returning. So sometimes we have to go walk that path, but we're all here to hold space when we want to come back and warm our feet by the fire.
There's something about the sense of community if you're not going through it, and having a place to talk about it. It's just so important. And sometimes we get caught on this healing treadmill, this healing hamster wheel, where everything we feel like has to be healed or we have to get through stuff. Sometimes we just need to sit around the metaphorical or literal bonfire and just talk and realize that we're not alone in this, and realize that, like, hey, maybe this isn't something I have to heal from right now. It's just something I need to talk about and feel at peace with right now. It's finding that peace in the chaos and understanding, like, hey, the chaos doesn't have to affect my peace. So let me just tap into the peace, and that can be talking about it on a stream like this and just chatting about it. And once again, normalizing it and making it feel like we're not alone in this. And we have people jumping in, like, hey, can they live together? Do they get along? Like, we have problem solvers and curious people in here that, like, well, just allow us to know. Oh my God, we're not in this alone. So beautiful, brother. What a bonfire to be sitting around.
I mean, I can't imagine, like, the old saying with Ram Dass is, if you think you're enlightened, go hang out with your family for a weekend, right? So Lisa Jude literally has that going on inside her household with her husband, Toby, with the guinea pig left behind from her daughter, with her own shit to deal with work at her law firm. It's just never ending, where people are constantly asking more of Lorianne instead of just doing the job themselves. And she's just being gifted opportunities to create boundaries. And it sounds like she's really starting to do it. Not only do they live in the same house, they do not get along. And it's difficult. And Lynn's is like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, talk about a challenging situation, but talk about the opportunities to grow and channel the love and light. And let's not forget, as recent as last week, her husband, Toby, is singing her praises to everyone, bragging about her cutting out meat, bragging about her singing love and light all the time, bragging about her music. He's using the language. We get so focused on sometimes not being able to see the forest through the trees of our problems, but you are on such a journey. You are making such progress, and we are so, so proud of you. And this is the slingshot to just launch forward in the love and light, Lorianne. You are killing it. And namaste, Sherzy. Welcome in, brother.
Sherzy, welcome in, brother. Welcome in, brother. Dude, what beautifully said. Beautifully said. And once again, just echoing. There might not be anything to fix. We want it to be fixed. We want this problem to resolve itself, and probably resolve itself quickly. But these are where all of the most, I'm going to use a little bit of Erica's language here, all of the most delicious treats are found, are these lessons right now. And when you're in a space to do it, it doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be right now. It's when you're in a space to do it, and when you can find yourself the moment. What are the greatest lessons I'm learning from this? What am I taking from this right now? What is this? Not what am I taking from this? What is this giving me? What is this giving me? What is it teaching me about myself? What is it teaching me about my view towards others and how they affect me in my life and all of those things? Because there's lessons, but I'm certainly never going to be a person to sit here and tell you to find them right now if you're not in a space to do it. So sit with it, honor yourself, because you have people singing your praises. You have a community here that is loving the absolutely living shit out of you right now. And maybe that's a big win for the day, is just, you're not alone. We see you, we hear you, We feel you. We celebrate you. We love you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just your presence here, Lorianne. Look what it's sparking. Look at the conversation it sparks. Look at the love and light that's showering into everybody else watching this stream. They just learned about boundaries. They just learned about another fellow soul continually practicing what we speak about here in the Love Light stream and putting it into practice and working at it and integrating it. That is so powerful. But so happy to hear LA. Let's take a step back here. Ben, just how you doing, brother? We jumped right in. We were so damn excited. What's shaking for you today, brother? Talk about what it's been like since our freaking call yesterday. My goodness.
Oh, dude, we were on fire, man. We were lit up. It was awesome. Since then, today was one of those days where I did my best to get into a groove, and I was just energetically feeling blocked all day.
Wow.
And it's cool. Like, it's all right. It's just one of those days where you're trying to do things and nothing is working with you. I was out of blueberries this morning, so I didn't have my normal favorite breakfast.
And back up. What's Ben Myers, somebody like you's typical morning breakfast that got thrown in the blender this morning of his routine?
Brother. Everyone, if you have pencils, pens, paper, phone apps, this is the best breakfast. And I don't want to take, I know my mom's on her way back from my grandma's house, so she might not be in the stream just yet.
She is. I just said Mama Meyer Namaste, and she put a heart.
Oh, dude. So I like to call this the Lori Bowl. It is organic, non-fat Greek yogurt, blueberries, strawberries. I put some vegan vanilla protein powder in it. And then I put there's like these 7 Sundays cereal you can put in. But recently I've been going with purely Elizabeth granola. And I've been putting it on that. And I have that every morning for breakfast. And when I get done it, I look forward to it for the next day. I feel satiated up until I eat that for breakfast. And I usually eat around I eat that around 10:30-ish. Because I have my usual first calls, or my first calls are at 11. And then I probably don't eat again until 2:30. And I usually have a light meal then. And that's it for the day. But that's my breakfast. And I hope that sparks somebody to have the most amazing breakfast ever. I've had that almost every morning for the past 3 years.
Wow. Okay. So then talk about what happened today when those blueberries weren't kicking around.
So I had I had these banana bread. There was a couple blueberry muffins that were in there. I had a couple left over. So I had those for breakfast and then these little protein balls. But what happens is, for that breakfast, I usually do about a half hour to an hour's worth of work before I have my breakfast. I get done my movement, my meditation, my qigong, my morning, right? And then I get an hour work in because I'm feeling the flow. I'm feeling good. And then I make my breakfast. Maybe I'll call my mom while I'm doing that. But then I sit down and I allow myself a half hour, 45 minutes to either watch whatever YouTube videos I want. They could be mind stimulating, spiritually stimulating. They could be me watching streamers play video games, whatever it is. This is my time to just sit and enjoy my breakfast. It's my sit down. And I eat 3 muffins, little tiny muffins, much quicker than I eat my breakfast bowl. So what happened was, this was done in a minute and a half today. So then I went right into work. I didn't watch my videos. I didn't have my moment. So so then that started. Then AI, whoever said it's taking over the world, I think is full of shit. It was not acting like it was going to take over the world today. But it was all good. Once again, it's one of those days you sit there and you learn hey, I'm not going to fight the energy. It's guiding me somewhere. It's okay. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go take a couple of walks today. I'm going to get what I can get done today. My mom stopped over. I got to have a beautiful hour-long conversation with her and enjoy that. And oh my gosh, AI is coming for your job. AI can replace a lot of my job, but it can't replace the community and the person-to-person connection. AI can't understand emotions. It can only talk about them. That's my take on it, right? Once it starts integrating with humans and we're half human, half robot, then but I'm fuck.
By that time, there won't be anything else to do other than sit around in the grass around the fire and talk about the days where there was so much suffering. And now the only suffering is we're all sitting around and nobody knows who they are and they're trying to remember. So everybody's just literally on the spiritual path because there's nothing else to do but be blissed out. sitting down in meditation.
And no words.
That's what I literally see. Like, I don't know if everybody's aware here, but in Advaita Vedanta or Hinduism, in their kind of, creation story, whether if it's Christianity, it's, Adam and Eve fell down because they ate the apple, they fell into sin, and then Jesus is going to come back with a big sword and he's going to, purge the earth, and it's going to be heaven on earth and all that stuff. Okay, so in Hinduism, they have yugas. Okay, so yugas are periods of time. So think of like a big circle, a big pie. Okay, so what's really beautiful is the age of truth is like 1/3 of the pie. And that's this huge stretch of thousands of years. This whole circle takes 26,000 years to go around. 26,000 years. So 1/3 of that is this truth age where everybody knows who they are. Everybody's remembered that we're God. Everybody's blissed out. Nobody eats. If they do, they eat fruit. Nobody kills anything. It's just pure bliss, okay? And that's consciousness experiencing that. But then it descends. So it comes out of the top third and it descends. And then you go the opposite of truth and more the opposite of truth and the more. And then we get down to the medieval times, Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, when everybody's just killing each other. People don't live past 25. It's just a nightmare. And then it moved through that. And then it goes to Industrial Revolution. Keep going a bit, some big wars. And and now we're breaking back out of the really tough time. And we're going into this electric age where technology advances fast. Everything rapidly grows. People start waking up. Their gifts start coming back online. People are autistic. They're neurodivergent. They have gifts. And it starts working its way back up to the truth. So we're on the upswing. But how does technology fit into that upswing? How does that integrate into our society? Does it destroy us? Does it take us out before then? But I like to look at the positive side, that we're moving in the right direction. And this big long wheel takes 26,000 years to go around. We're here in this meat monkey spacesuit for 100 at most, maybe 150 with the way the technology's going. So that's just a little history lesson of what they believe out there. And I feel I resonate with that a lot deeper than the other shit.
I agree. And I don't know if anyone follows like the age of Aquarius and all that stuff. We've definitely entered into a new time here, a new age. And it's going to be the age of technology. Yeah. But I think that's also going to be the age of remembrance and awakening and whatever words people want to use. It's kind of opening our eyes and once again, remembering that we're more powerful than we ever thought. And I think you see a lot of people trying to silence that. There's a lot of that coming out. But I also think people are waking up to the fear mongering and the leadership by fear. And everyone's just kind of like, at this point, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's just like, we don't buy it anymore. Like we're coming together and they're trying to make us believe we're not. And I think that's what's really beautiful is we're learning that we're all coming together. What did Dana say? Mr. and Mrs. Hindu obviously never saw the Terminator.
Hey, Data, first of all, namaste, brother. Welcome in. We are one. I love how you're sitting in the weeds back there these days, and then you pop out and get me excited, Big D. But, dude, as I was speaking that, I think you saw my wheels spin a bit as I was saying, Dark Ages, get through that, Electric Age. And then I kind of had a schism there when I was like, how does this technology integrate? Does it destroy us like the Terminator and Skynet? Supposedly, on this scale, it's only going up. There'll be bumps in the road, but that makes me real positive. That makes me feel really good. And if you really start diving down into some of these, lost traditions and what people actually think is going on, you talk about the Sumerians, the first culture supposedly with language and the things they're talking about. It seems to me there's been multiple different cycles of human beings in some way, shape, or form emerging and dying off, emerging and dying off, emerging and dying off. Atlantis, all this stuff. I know it sounds all pie in the sky and stuff, people, but the more I go down this remembrance journey, the more I realize that nothing is off the table. Everything is infinite consciousness, and therefore everything is possible. So this whole alien thing, and aliens are coming soon. A lot of people think they're just ancient humans that got off the planet and are just like coming back, trying to see their relatives. We're like their descendants, that are just kind of figuring shit out again. They're like, oh, the humans are on their 45th cycle trying to figure out this Earth thing.
It's funny. Everyone thought aliens was like crazy shit. And then once it becomes like mainstream, it's like, no. Now you're trying to control the narrative of what we think and believe it is. It's like, no. Like, let the conspiracies and all of that stuff, let I trust more of the conspiracies at this point than I do the shit that comes through. But I think a lot of it is, I think like bringing even back to like mental health stuff is like, what do you feel about it? Like you're talking a lot, like this resonates with you, this narrative, this feeling, like it's not coming from just one place. It's a lot of things coming into your awareness, and you're like, ooh, that resonates. Ooh, like what's the creative narrative it feels right for you? And that's not judging other people too. That's what I always ask people in like mental health world is like, what do you think? Not what does so and so think and yada yada yada. What do you think? So I love that you're sharing like, this is what's really resonating with my highest self right now, or highest self right now. I love that. I'm not far from you on that one.
I think that's a big transition. I mean, I was one of those people that was just like, the government has our best interest in heart. They're just the best. Conspiracy theorists are whack jobs. They're crazy. People who are anti-vaxxers are just delusional. And I'm like, once I met the part of myself that lives in all of us, that is, we are all capable of the darkest things you can think of. When you meet that part of yourself and realize, wow, that's human nature. That's why the world is the way it is everybody is capable of those things, and they think they're the good guy out there doing their thing. And ego, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I don't know, humans running other humans with unlimited money, and then they think what is right, and they think vegan, they think carnivore. They just kind of start imposing their own biases and beliefs on everybody, and you can see how that starts to snowball. So it was a very interesting transition in our household, from me and my mom being very anti all that conspiracy, anti-vax, all that stuff, and then me start to break away from that as I healed my journey. And I didn't go all the way this way. I just went to center. Like, I don't think that's anything more valuable than the other. I don't subscribe to narratives anymore. And my mom still does and is working through that. I think it's started to chip away. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just at what level of consciousness are you operating? What radio dial of frequency and love and light are you tuned to?
Absolutely. I love that. And once again, I think it's something in me. I think it's something a lot of people, whenever I feel like I'm told I have to do something and then the why is fought back on, it's like, well, wait a second. What do you mean? Like, you can pick up on energy, right? And I think as we open up to ourselves and we open up to like just more of our alignment and where we're hoping to kind of continue growing, the more we ask why, it's not to ask why from others, it's to ask why from ourselves. And you start realizing the more you ask why, the quote unquote right people sit with you, help you explore, they're curious with you. But the people that maybe aren't in alignment with the direction you're going, they tend to get offended by your why. And they try to teach you that your why is not justifiable. You shouldn't ask that type of question. It's just the way it is, yada, yada, yada. And so I think that's a really big thing of just like, hey, when you ask why, see who sits with you in curiosity. Doesn't tell you that your why is right or wrong. They're just like, huh, what a cool way to think about it. Like, I know me and you have those conversations. It's just like, I might not be in alignment with you on that, but like, how'd you get there? I'm curious. Like, exactly. I'd love to hear it. That kind of stuff.
That is, oh gosh, that is so beautiful. That's like one of those things where it's like, if every politician just did a huge dose of mushrooms, the world would be all right. If everybody just led with curiosity, everything would be all right. Literally everything would be all right. Shari Soulflow. Namaste, Shari. Welcome in. We are so happy to have you back. You've been such an addition of channeling love and light in this community. So happy to have you in here. She says, I'm choosing to believe that we are shifting from a world led by power for power to a world of love for love. And maybe we have alien advocates out there to help us shift. Oh, I love that reframe of what this whole world's like. She was actually sending in Lee Harris as a channeler, and she put in a video, 10-minute video of him on the girl from Big Bang Theory, who has a podcast, a really funny one. He was on there channeling and talking about this new earth we're moving into, and he's like, the currency is literally like love and light.
Right. I can't remember her name, but she's on with this other dude, right?
It's her partner, some Maya Black or something like that.
She just had, not too long ago, I was watching her episode with Kai Dickens from the Telepathy Tapes. I really like her podcast. I really like her too. I didn't watch Big Bang, but I've always been a fan of her anytime she's popped up. I love the way she presents. I love her curiosity. That's what I think we're learning is it's not, I don't care where you're from or what you did and all that stuff. Is like, how do I resonate with you? Like the way you speak, the way you treat others, the way you talk, the way you love, the way you bring this light into the world. Like, and sometimes that light's not super bright. Sometimes that light meets you where you are at, and that's where you're resonating. Like, right? Like, I often think that is like, if we're getting pulled into all of the drama, and that's where it's often a mirror to be like, is that where I'm resonating at? Is that where I'm tuned into? Is that why I want to stay here longer? Maybe it's not a distraction. It's just, is that just the mirror of me right now? But I say all that because I say I agree. I like her show. Sherry, I'm gonna have to go check that out.
The Black Breakdown is what it's called, or something.
The Belak.
Yeah, Wade Belak. You know Wade Belak? Do you know who Wade Belak is?
No.
Oh man, okay. He was a former heavyweight tough guy. Played for the Leafs, and not to just bring it in super heavy, but he was an awesome tough guy. But he, in one summer, him, Rick Rippon, intentionally took their own lives as former tough guy fighters. And Derek Bugard, who was 6'7", 270, one of the heaviest, toughest guys ever, overdosed, we think, and didn't mean to, but he was taking so many pills for so much pain. So that Belak, see you saying that name just made me think of Wade Belak. It's a guy I grew up watching. He was like this. He looked like Ivan Drago, basically. He had like bleach blonde, natural hair, just big dude that would just fight everybody. So I know that resonates with you. He was the good guy though for us. He wasn't the bad guy like in Rocky.
It's funny. And you know what's funny? I don't think he was the bad guy in Rocky. I think he's a really interesting character if you wanted to get into that. I've always thought this about the Russian. I don't think he was bad. I think he was inherently good. And you watch how he reacts to people. Like, he doesn't want to do the things he's doing. He's just this puppet for a machine. And when he's doing the things, he's just doing what he's told to do. I think he's one of the most interesting characters and the most non-talked about, because I don't think that he's I don't think he's a bad guy. It's just something.
I do agree with that. Like, yeah, that's like just the mainstream narrative of that he's the bad guy, right? But yeah, I totally agree. Like, I feel like you can look at every movie completely from an opposite end of the spectrum if you really have tapped into some of these things that we live every day and love talking about. Serious question from Sherzy. Can you take the hockey out of a 12-year-old? My nephew gets to school today. Watched a kid shove his autistic kid in full-out sprints to body check the kid. So just so you're aware, oh, you might be frozen. Are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh, you're just totally, you were just taking that in. Wow, you were like stone stature, and I was waiting for you to move, and I'm like, okay, it might be frozen. So if you're not, Sherzy's nephew is 12 years old. His name's Ross the Boss. On the ice, he is a absolute weapon because Sherzy's his uncle, and he tells him how to play the game the right way, and he's a lot bigger than most kids at this age. So he's definitely got a mean streak in him, and we're trying to have him control that a little bit.
So his 12-year-old nephew got to school today and watched a kid shove another autistic kid and full out sprints to body check the kid.
Well, he's not Ross the Boss isn't autistic. This kid is autistic. You said another autistic kid, but just clarifying. Ross the Boss isn't autistic. The friend is autistic, and he's defending him like he would on the hockey ice. And he does that a lot, and he gets himself in trouble a lot. He like oversteps protecting his friends because that's what you do in hockey.
That's really tough. This is hard for me not to have an emotional response, because I don't, in the grand scheme of things, I have a very soft spot for the autistic community, and I have a very warm spot for the helpers who help, quote unquote, the helpless, those who can't help themselves in certain situations. So I don't think he's wrong. It's really, really tough for me, because I said, like, I think there's love and light in sticking up and helping for those kids. And maybe it doesn't have to be like beating the shit out of kids and doing those type of things. But I think there's a moment where just kind of like, I think you were raised right.
Huh. Is that the Philly coming out of Ben?
That's something that, when the R word's thrown around and just in any way, I don't like the R word at all. But especially when it's used for that way, but if you're physically assaulting an autistic kid, I think you deserve everything that happens to you. you are going to get met with the mirror of the actions in which you're taking out. I'm not condoning the violence, but if you're doing that to a helpless and you get something back in return, it's one of those things like, as someone would probably say to me, you should just shut your fucking mouth.
Serious question. Can you take the hockey out of a 12-year-old? So, hey, hold space for everybody's opinions and stuff. I definitely believe that this is not okay, because I just don't think violence is ever the answer. And it gets really weird because the only things that have changed, for example, the LGBTQ community, like Stonewall, was when lesbians literally rose up and trans individuals and just raged and made things happen. And you see that with civil rights movement. You see that all over the world. That change only really happens through that violence. So I feel really pulled to answer it the same way you do, Ben. And I lived that for so long. And I don't even like that I'm saying it, but I just try to always lean into the turn the other cheek thing now. I don't know. That's just where I'm at in my journey.
Let's talk about it. Let's have an open conversation. I also would love to. I'm trying to put myself in Ross's shoes, right? And I wasn't someone who fought, right? I was someone who stuck up for people, got in the middle of it, and I was a keeper of the peace.
Mm-hmm.
I am someone who's like, in this case, is like, so let's talk about it. What do we think the right way is to work through that?
I mean, being a teacher's son, the highest of the high would, of course, be to report the behavior and not perpetuate the violence, because yes, I can put myself in Ross the Boss's shoes as well. And the state of consciousness is, I see that, I got to stick up and defend. I've been there. I never attacked, but I put myself in between and didn't allow that to happen, being a teacher's son. But it's ultimately just like the same thing to me as when a child spills milk. That kid who's bullying the autistic kid, what happens when it was my psychologist from the NHLPA, who was also a Buddhist, told me a story of his daughter kept spilling milk as a child. And he would say, honey, be careful with the milk. You spill it every time, and please don't spill it. And she spilled it, and she spilled it. And it was like, going on all these times, she just kept spilling the milk. And he snapped as this Buddhist psychologist, senior guy. And he snapped on her and screamed at her and made her cry. And he had to really sit down and evaluate himself, because he knew that was completely inappropriate and that she literally doesn't know better. And I'm of the belief that every act of violence, negativity, hate, anything to do that's negative is just a reflection of the lack of understanding, which in the Vedantic and Hinduism tradition, they call it ignorance. And ignorance doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you're unaware. Mm-hmm. So that child, being young, like we all were, is unaware of their actions. They do not know any better, and therefore they are acting on false evidence. They do not understand the situation. And the only way to correct that is to take a step back, not condemn them, bring them in and be curious, and not just commit violence back, because that just reinforces everything.
Yeah. And beautifully said. This isn't his first time sticking up for the kid. The only reason he's there is because Ross will defend him. So there's a lot there, right? I agree with take this to teachers, right? I agree with, hey, let's take this to teachers. Let's talk about this. And there's also a place in which he can verbally be there as well. It's like, hey, your problem's going to be with me if you have a problem with him. Now, that can once again lead to violence. We don't want that to begin with. But yeah, because I think the mature answer here is, this is just from someone who, I think this is also striking a chord with me. Like, I was bullied as a kid, mm-hmm. and I can look at the kids and all the times I didn't fight back, all the times I was too nice, all the times I did whatever, and recognizing the older I got to see their parents, and I got to realize they were just treating me how they were treated either by brothers or by parents. And it was learned behavior. And now, once again, this is maybe the Philly in me, maybe not. It was, when it stopped? When they got taught a lesson for speaking that way. And that lesson doesn't have to be violence. It doesn't have it. Most of the time it had to be, because it was, you're no longer the biggest and baddest kid on the playground anymore, kind of thing. But I think at the age we are, like, once again, I'm 38. Like, that was 35 years ago, 30 years ago. Like, it's different now. I would never tell a kid to go punch someone, other kid, because he got whatever. But I think you're right, taking it to the school, but also having Ross, man, I stand behind, I stand behind Ross and being like, good on you, the way you were raised to stand up for those who can't help themselves in situations. Let's learn how to act. Like, the intention's there, right? The intention's there. I think it's just, once again, kind of navigating what the best way is. But yeah, you did see, you certainly saw a side of me get that is something where I get very stern sometimes.
And I know that side of myself intimately, being in the spaces I was as a fighter for so long. And I was still the kid that I had actually a friend of mine who was like, one of those friends that's like, he's in your friend group, but he's kind of like a little shit, and he just kind of pushes the boundaries of everything. Well, he would bully my brother, and my brother was annoying as fuck. But I got to be annoying to my brother. So it got to the point where, like, yeah, I was like, Riley, like, I don't know what to do anymore. You're not stopping. Like, I'll see you out back of the school after school, and go there and stand there and him not show up, kind of thing. Like, I did that. That's who I was at the time. It was the same thing. It wasn't exactly what Sherzy's saying. It's not throwing a punch. It's running in there, very forcefully removing that person from the ability to hurt the other person, and then stepping back. I'm not saying this is awful, and I'm not saying this is bad. I'm literally been there my whole life. It's from deep knowing now that it's like, there is no such thing as an evil act. Evil does not have a ground of its own. It only has the illusion of evil. It is refracted love and light. It is love and light that is ignorant to its own love and lightness. So I don't think it matters what age. I am not one of these people that thinks there is age requirements for kids to be exposed to certain things. I'm just not. If I ever have a child or adopt a child, I will be telling them about everything under the sun from the second they know what a word is. Porn, sex, food, culture. I don't give a fuck what it is. They'll be talked about it no matter what. I would give my book to anybody to read. Even if they can barely read it, I would give it to a kid. I think that's just how I see things. I think you cannot shelter kids from things. They're going to get met with it. And I got met with it. My family thought that I wasn't getting met with it. And oh my God, was I? And I needed someone there to tell me and guide me through these things. Yeah. And I was just left to my own devices. I was too young for the birds and bees talk. No, I fucking wasn't. The food stuff, all these things, I needed someone to be vulnerable about their own journeys to understand I had things that were starting, and I had a culture that I was raised in that endorsed everything that I ended up being addicted to.
Yeah. I'm also trying to think, right? I'm trying to get out of the ego. I definitely feel a strong pull, and get into, what do I truly believe outside of that? Because I am a little bit of like, hey, I am all about love and light, but I'm also a little bit about, you can fuck around and find out too. Like, you're not going to walk on me. But once again, it's when I say that, it's never about physical violence. It's about firm boundaries, standing my ground, knowing and being confident in who I am, that you will not walk all over me. When I say fuck around and find out, that's what I mean. It's like, listen, this isn't like a free parking space where you get to park all your shit. This isn't it. This isn't that spot. So I'm trying to say, like, okay, if that's how I feel, if that's what I embody, right? How does that show up in this situation in school? And I think you nailed it. It's, you walk with him. You walk with the student. You go to the teacher with him, and you say, hey, this is what's happening. I'm a voice for you. I'm an advocate for you. I sit and stand with you. I'll sit with you at lunch. I'll go wherever you want to go. This kind of stuff. Like, I'm here with you. And then I think about this too. This is, the really unfortunate side. Okay, this word gets back to that kid's parents. what, if anything, is happening at home, and what seems like an already like, because there can be like, like the privileged boys that are just given everything, yada yada yada, stuff like that. Their shit doesn't stink. But like, what if it's already a tough home, man? Yeah, it's really tough. That's really tough. But I think being the advocate, being the voice with him, and once again, you can't always be a shadow, so you don't want it to shine too much of a light on, like they wait for Ross not to be there. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I would go, is like, hey, I'm gonna be in the room with you when you need to talk about it, so I can vouch for you. I can let you know you're not alone to talk about it if you might be scared, because I also don't know the level of how verbal or what kind of stuff that is. But yeah, that would probably be how I would go about it.
It's hard, and if you're raised in that culture and then you do that and you're like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and especially, Sharzy, you like the rough stuff, like you've from the ghetto of Rockford, you talk about, you're kind of endorse that stuff as well. So he's going to come from that. And now you're asking, can we take the hockey? You said serious question, so we're taking it as a serious question. It's something, usually if you didn't say serious question, I definitely wouldn't be taking it serious, because not much you say is too serious sometimes. But yeah, it's, for me, I wouldn't probably, my child would have already been well schooled in this. That's just how my belief of it, of where I'm at. If they're not, this is something that has to be sit down and really like talked about. And it's not going to be a one-time thing. It's an ongoing thing. They're 11 years old. It's going to take time. Talking about as an adult now, moving forward into adulthood, it's like, I remember when I was doing my LGBT advocacy and all the George Floyd stuff with racism was coming out. It was like how to be an ally in actual physical situations. Like, for example, the subway. It's like, you're on the subway and some guy who's having a bad day, who has prejudiced views or oppressive views, or racist views, just starts going at someone, like a white, let's just say a white guy going at a black woman, and you're there. There's like a whole like step-by-step process this podcast walked it through. It's like, first and foremost, you're there. You have to decide as a bystander if you want to put yourself in harm's way. That is number one thing. If you're not ready to willing to do that, don't do anything. That was the number one. That was the first thing. It was like, fair enough. But it was like, two, the answer is not to just go and attack that white guy and beat him up. That is just perpetuating the problem. It's the same thing that you just said. As an adult, what you're supposed to do in these situations, if you've chosen that you want to put yourself in some level of harm, you move yourself between that perpetrator and the victim. And you can make it clear with your body language and stance that you are with this person now. You are a package deal. If you're coming at them, you're coming at me. You don't have to say anything. It's your presence standing, and you can just look at the person who's being attacked and say, I'm here with you. That's it. We're not going to insinuate violence, and we're not going to push it. We're not going to argue back. And that's like the best thing you can do, is just move in their direction, side with them, keep them safe. In this school setting, right, go to the teachers, whatever. But it's hard. It's hard when we're not fighting saber-tooth tigers and bears all the time and hunting our own food. We're not used to conflict and violence. Conflict for modern humans is like, is my boss going to get mad at me because this work was like just a little bit not as good as my past work? It's like that, and that feels like a saber-tooth tiger is going to come out and eat you when you wake up in the morning. That's how stressed you are about that confrontation. So it's difficult for people to put yourself in confrontation situations. I don't even like it, and I was like training myself and trained to do it.
What a question, man. And I don't say that lightly, is because that's a real life scenario. And obviously a responsibility goes to school. You escalate as high as you can to the highest level, but like you said, Rockford's a rough spot. Rockford's not known for being able to support their students in this way and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, okay, if we're going to say like the school system is doing nothing, you've tried to talk to the teachers, you've repeatedly done something. I mean, there's what else are you going to do? You could choose to just sit down and meditate and somebody punch you in the head, or you can fight back. Like, I mean, at some point it gets like that. My grandfather was the youngest of children on his farm. His dad lined up his whole family on the side of the farm with a shotgun, put it all in their mouths, and then broke it over his knee. And my grandpa tried to put it back together to kill him. My great-grandmother's like, okay, time for us to leave. Back then, you didn't divorce or leave, but she did. She left, took the youngest son, my grandpa, and then she had to find jobs everywhere she went in Scotland. And every school he had to switch to every couple of months, who did he get the first day? The bully. And he learned to just punch that fucker in the face the first day every time he showed up at the school. Anybody said shit to him, was like prison rules. You just punch him in the face and move on, and they won't fuck with you. You know, that can be true. That is like living in the world, but I'd rather us not know that as the only way to deal with things, you know. But I'm sure at some point, if you've done everything you can to mitigate a situation and it's not happening, you either have to decide to fight back or leave the school for sure.
This is also a big thing, which I don't. Do you sit down with Ross? How do you feel, brother? Well, like talking about the feelings with him, like not so much telling him what is right and what is wrong, checking with like, what are you trying to express? Like, I think once again, how do we lead with curiosity in this? And obviously, like in our minds, we think we know and feel what is right and what is wrong here. Like you don't do that behavior. The violence isn't the answer, stuff like that. But sitting down with Ross and be like, what is the emotion you're feeling that you're trying to convey that's coming through the violence? Is it like, can you name that? Can you tell me what that is? And then if it's just like, it's anger, like I am angry at them. And then being like, what are other ways we've learned how we can kind of work through anger? Like, once again, if he's a hockey player, he has the outlet for anger. Like that's why he's what he's going through right now. Right. But this is such an opportunity to work through emotions and understand what the emotions are before even wondering what is right and what is wrong. Because I think this is such a teaching moment of understanding it. My daughter had issues from grade 2 on with a boy. The school didn't deal with it. I took steps to protect her. It took to grade 6 after he assaulted another girl before they expelled him. The principal had the nerves. Yeah.
That's I mean, that's no wonder you're having this opinion on this thing, Lorianne. Earlier up here, you said you are on Team Ross with this one as well. I mean, that's your lived experience. And we can see how our lived experience informs our opinions, and it lives in our body and it triggers us because of course, Lorianne, like this is appalling. It's absolutely appalling. And like, look at the experience I had. I was in the jock group in grade 4. And I also went and hung out with the kids that like to play dinosaurs and hold their hands like this. And then I got chirped by the jocks and they threw rocks at me. And I guess I could have just gone and started punching them and fighting them. But I was raised by my mom, who was his teacher. And it was like, that was not okay. So I just went to mom. I'm like, yeah, like these guys are bullying me. So she went, okay. So we contacted the guy's dad who played in my hockey team, and we asked for a sit-down meeting before practice one day. We're like grade 5 or whatever. And I remember NTR, we sat down at the tables, and he just started bawling his eyes out. And I just got to watch that bullies were just the biggest phonies and the weakest of us, and they're so sad. And all. That's what I thought at the time. Obviously, I know now they're just hurting, but it pretty quickly made me realize, like, oh, if you just kind of like just confront them in any type of way, they just fold like a house of cards. But in this situation, girl on boy, with a principal that's so insensitive, that is wild.
Yeah, that is. Just talk to Ross, the boss. I love Ross. I don't even know Ross, the boss. I just love the name Ross, the boss. The kid shoved the autistic kid down, trying to raid his book bag with the teacher just standing there and watching around. Didn't step in, so Ross did.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, like I said, that like there's got to be consequences for actions, and I think. And to varying degrees, I'm not going to sit here, but in this case, I'm not a parent, and I'm not going to pretend that I am. But in imagination world, I pull my kid aside and say, like, hey, I don't condone the violence. I don't condone this. I love that you're sticking up for people and your heart is in the right place. I'm not going to punish you for this. But I need you to know we're gonna moving forward. I love what you're doing. I love where your heart is. You're looking out and it's in the right place. We're just gonna learn how to do this in a more productive way. And I love you.
Yeah,
like that. That's kind of how in this, like, I'm getting chills thinking about that. Like, brother, your heart is in the right place.
Yes, absolutely. Like there's no doubt about that. And especially the teacher, that angle. And then it's like, okay, so that happened once. And I'm proud of you, but how can we be even better? How can we get curious of how to problem solve, how this doesn't even get to that point? How do we feel about this boy? Why do we think he's doing this to this kid? Let's get curious about that. What would make you do something like that to someone? How much would you have to be worried about your own problems, your own issues, we don't know. Let's have empathy. Chase Hughes is a former CIA guy. He's huge on social media now. He's like the best profile or whatever. He's so good at reading people. And he says, somebody asked him, how do you raise your kids in a world like this today? And he's like, honestly, You just talk about it all the time. He's like, we'll be driving in the street and we'll see a car in front of us with a bumper sticker that says marathon runner, whatever. And he goes, what do you think that says about that person? What do you saw that? What does he think that says about?
I saw this today.
Yeah, like what does that say about the person? What are they projecting that they want us to know? Well, they're healthy, they fit, they like to run. Well, what does that mean? Maybe that they're worried about. Well, they're worried about not fitting in, they're worried about fit. So you just start to look at people from that lens. And he said, don't look, it's like looking at a carpet and looking at one thread. It said we zoom out and look at the whole picture. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. And Sharzy, you're so wise. You're the Rumi of Rockford. Like that is something you could definitely help him reframe, to step back, be the seagull, the bird's eye view. I think that would be very powerful. But look what Lorianne said. We had to drive her to and from school, walk her to her friend's house. She had no freedom to even play in the front yard. And from there, I'll transition that to what Mama Meyer said. She said, I remember when the school would let kids shadow each other for a couple days so they could learn a little bit more about each other and maybe see what struggles they go through. Isn't that interesting? That's getting curious.
Yeah. Nice share. We had the talk that being a vigilante can end up bad with physical force. Unfortunately, he's heard all my crazy fight stories. I wish I was a foot taller and 100 pounds when I was his age.
And that's what I'm definitely picking up. I mean, Sharzy, you definitely have a flavor to your personality, and you are like, love the Rockford Ice Hogs, all the tough guys on the team. You came up in the freaking fighting everybody. Like he's conditioned for that. He's using it in the best possible way. But now, can we get curious? Can we even better that? Is there a better way to deal with it?
And what an awesome opportunity and seat that you sit in, Sharzy, is clearly he looks up to you and is inspired by you and stuff like that. And what a way for you to step in and have the conversation we're having, right? And just to be like, hey, brother, I know we've talked about this. Like, I wish I would have done things a little bit differently. Even if you look back and you really don't give a shit that you would have. But like looking back, like through him being like, man, I wish I would have done things differently and handled it this way and saved all of that shit, all of the ice antics for the ice. Like I wish like that could have been my playground. That's where I could have done all this stuff. But outside of it, like we're not letting that bleed off the ice kind of thing. But that's a really cool situation you have. Like you're clearly a role model for him. So what an opportunity for you to have these. And Sharzy's smart, man. He asked the question. Going to take his stuff from this that resonates with him. And as always, like this is one of my favorite sayings is take what resonates, leaves what doesn't, and go be a fucking rock star uncle that you are, man. Great question to even bring it to the table.
You never know what's going to come up in the 11 night stream. That's for sure, people. Let's
that
go.
That was the most in-depth conversation we got into in a while.
I know. I've went a long time. It's freaking awesome.
Whew.
Okay, but let's go right back to the beginning because Riley came in. What's up, Gabriel? He had some hockey stuff. I think he said Gabriel in the background, along with the OHL Finals Game 4 sweep for Kitchener tonight, could be the first team to book their ticket to the Memorial Cup. So that's where Lisa Jude and Linz were saying, go Colts, go, because they do not want to see our rival Kitchener Rangers sweep the OHL Finals and go to the Cup. So that's what people were talking about there. Riley's saying, I want the Colts to win. I have Kashawn Aitchison auto on the front's hat, point and laugh. It's not a Barry hat, but that's what I had on me and signed. Pretty cool. So Kashawn Aitchison, Ben, if he was drafted by the Flyers, you would have heard all about this guy. He's drafted by the Islanders instead. He's like this throwback defenseman that has all the modern day skill and lights it up with goals, but destroys people with open ice hits, like annihilates them into another dimension. And then if they fight him, he'll just he's broken many guys' jaws now. Like this guy has the whole package.
Remember we were talking about what kind of defenseman I wish I could be? That one on our one call, that's the kind of defenseman I wish I could be.
Literally. Like he is very impressive. Very impressive. Big Isles. Oh, there he is. There he is. Big Isles fan. Love that he's in the system. Okay, Ben. Ben's a big Isles fan. Brother, let's tap into you because Ben to Ben here. This is our boy Ben Myers. This is Ben Laguerre. Ben is in Nova Scotia, out east Canada, an hour ahead of us. So he's on the stream late in the night. And yesterday he joined our community, but he came on the stream first time and he said he'd been sitting in the love and light in the background watching for a couple of weeks, but then he had a rough day getting cut from his baseball team and shared that he had gone through that. So, Ben, I played high-level baseball. Ben Myers over there sure as hell played some high-level baseball. We were the same type of baseball player, which is funny enough. So he knows all about this field.
Yeah, how do you take getting cut, right? Once again, I'm sure ad nauseum you've probably heard about the Michael Jordan story getting cut from his JV team and stuff like that. But I think the best lesson in that is, what are you learning from it? Ben, how old are you?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know how old he is yet.
I feel like this is a radio show. Ben, how old are you?
I'm going on a radio show on Saturday in LA. There's this little 16. There we go.
16. Oh, what an age too, right? So yeah, first off, allow yourself to feel these emotions. Like that's a lot at that age, 16, getting cut from the baseball team and stuff like that. Like that's going to bring up a lot of things. This is one of my favorite things to say, especially I have never said it to brother, that's okay to feel this way. Like all these emotions, what are they teaching us? What are we learning from this? Is it something you want to go in and you want to try out again next year? Are you willing to commit to getting better? Are you willing to commit to going to one of the coaches and being like, hey, I understand I got cut. I respect your decision. But if I was to come out next year, where would you like to see me improve? And then doubling down on that. Do you love the game? Is that why it hurts so much? Like once again, you hear us leading with curiosity. That's where it's not just being curious about others, it's being curious about yourself. And the first thing I will say, brother, it's okay, man. This is such a beautiful lesson for you. Not in a way of oh, you had it coming kind of lesson. It's one of those this is going to be like an identity moment for you. What did I do when I faced something that really hurt me? How did I show up and how did I respond? So I would ask you to ask yourself this. How do I want to respond? What about you, brother?
I like that. How do you want to respond? I mean, frick. The biggest drop off early, at my book is when I get sent down the first time when I don't think I should be sent down. And it's that feeling of being wronged. It goes back to the Ross the Boss seeing an injustice happen and taking action on it. And when I felt that I was the victim of injustice, I was so zoomed in. We were just talking about zooming out. I was so zoomed in, I couldn't see anything. Couldn't see the forest through the trees. I just saw trees. I just saw problems and I had no perspective. And if you had to put 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old Curtis in that 23-year-old Curtis situation, and I would have had what was told to me, I would have ran around the street in the plane I was on naked. I'd be so happy. But because of who I was at the time and how wrapped up I was in my shit, I couldn't have perspective. And that's the danger of wrapping your identity in something. So hopefully at 16, Ben, you had a tough day, but it wasn't your whole life is wrapped around in baseball. I don't know. I would be curious about how much it means to you because you had a bad day, but is this something you put all your eggs in one basket like I did with hockey? Is this something that's just a fun pastime with your buddies? I'd be curious about that, but perspective, man, perspective is what matters. And God, do I feel like a dummy reading my book back. I was exactly what's for me can't miss me. But how I approached that situation without perspective, it did not go well.
And it's such an amazing opportunity of just asking ourselves, why does this hurt so bad? What about this hurts? Is it the fact that I play baseball with my friends? Is it the fact that I didn't make the team? Is it the fact that I feel like I'm going to look a certain way in front of certain people? Is it a social thing? And once again, it's just the curiosity, because once you get that answer, that's where the work starts. That's where not even work. That's where you get to play in that sandbox and because maybe I know if I would have got cut from a team of a sport I didn't really want to play, I'd have been all right, maybe I could go spend some more quality time or go pursue a hobby or something like that. But I would have to ask myself, what part of this hurts? And it's just being curious. And at age 16, if you can do that, you are light years, and I mean light years ahead of everything. You're asking yourself serious questions that are going to be benefiting yourself all the way. I wasn't asking myself that until I was fucking 30. Maybe 30. I'll be lucky. That'll be early 30 if I was saying that. So what about this is hard for me? What about this hurts? And this is the key, brother. Don't just say something to yourself that you think would sound right to a teacher, to a friend, to a girl, to a boy, like whatever it is. Like, sit with it and learn to be truthful with yourself, and don't judge yourself for the answer. It's okay, because it's how you feel. It's totally valid. It's totally cool.
Erica's loving it. She's back from tea with mama. Yeah. The rate you're going to grow is pretty much how brutally honest you can be with yourself. And you're going to have to face these things, and you will face them in your own time, in this life, the next, when you're 70, when you're 25, when you're 16 and a half, like whatever it is, you'll start doing this work on being brutally honest with yourself, because that's the best way to move through things. We live in all these little stories and these little side narratives, and we get caught in. I got caught in so many of them. Chersy's saying it was an 8th grader bullying. So Ross is 11. So he's in like 5th, 6th grade, and he's a foot taller and 100 pounds bigger than people his age. So he's the 8th grader size or bigger, and went at the kid. So even more kudos, and Ben's lighting up because he's loving to hear that.
This is just Sharzy. This is not for Ross. This is for the boys here, or just this is for the community. Tell you what, if an 8th grader gets his ass whooped by a 6th grader, that 8th grader is gonna have a fucking world of lessons, man. That is, I'm not condoning it. I'm not, but I'm just saying all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just gonna leave it there. I just have to leave it there, because there's a part of me that's getting too excited about this, and I know that's the ego. I know it's not vigilante justice that I want to see. It's not. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want to see any of that. But I can just imagine if I was in 8th grade, if a 6th grader came up and body checked the shit out of a kid and like stood over him and was like, "Now your problem's with fucking me, chief." It'd be like, "Oh God."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to opportunity to understand emotions.
Gets you going. We had a guy come into Instagram. I don't know if he's still here, but namaste. We're one D Legend 350. He goes, this is him being condescending, sarcastic. He says, KG's favorite fan is back. I'm even though he told me to stop talking, but I'm sure he wouldn't like it if I said that to him. Keep doing you, KG. So he's being facetious. And
Nice.
I definitely never told him to not talk. I just said I was going to stop answering him, because he's a very strongly identified Christian who believes I am not about the love and light, or is not as much as I believe I am, because I have takes on Radko Gudis's play on the ice.
Oh, I remember this a little bit.
Yeah.
No, and welcome in, brother. I hope you are still here. We chat about that kind of stuff. Like, once again, like, worrying about other people's paths of love and light because it doesn't register with our own, that's a path I've been caught up in, for sure, thinking that I was doing things the right way, or because I've read the Bible. I've read parts of the Bible. I don't claim I read the whole thing, and I probably interpret it differently than another person that read it and practices it and stuff like that. And they're all the same words. They're all the same stories. But just like any good story, it's meant for the reader to interpret it the way that it's meant for them. And yeah, I think, and well, I don't want to just sit here and blow smoke up, but I've met very few people that have, and you are one of the people that like I've seen show up. Now, once again, small sample size, right? We're looking to bring this out and continue to grow, continue to evolve, and all those things. But I can say from the time I've gotten to know you, it's been nothing but growth. It's been nothing but love. It's been nothing but light. It's been nothing but help. It's been nothing but kindness. It's been nothing but support. It's been nothing but anything like that, right? And the way you show up and respond, I think, is beautiful. That is in service of love and light.
I appreciate you, brother. But what about if you were zeroing in on my straight up takes of calling Radko Gudis as a hockey player, very, very specifically a hockey player, a shit stain. And I just really, really, really dislike him and think he's a piece of shit. But as a human being, just a fantastic husband, brother, father, son, apparently captain of his team, everything. He's just a different guy on the ice, and I really don't resonate with how he treats his fellow opponents.
So this is my take on it, because I think it's a private conversation me and you had. I don't think it was on stream, but it could have been. You kind of pointed at, as a professional athlete, you signed up to have your play on the ice talked about. Like, I've never played professional sports, so I can't sit there and, like, as a fan, I could talk about, like, you're in this fraternity of, like, you understand what you signed up for better than any fan possibly could. It's like, and you've always been very good about, on the ice, this is what I think of that man, and off of the ice, this is what I think of. On the ice, this is what I think of that player. Off the ice, this is what I think of that man. Very different. So I think, once again, if you were on a sports show and, like, say First Take or whatever it is, I can't say, we'll say, like, Get Up. I like Get Up better. And you were talking about somebody on the ice, cool. But once you start talking about their personal life in negative ways, get out of here. Get out of here. Like, don't talk about someone's personal life. Like, don't talk about their relationships and stuff like that. That's not about sports anymore. So I think you handled it in a way of, like, you're a professional hockey player, former professional hockey player, talking about hockey and your thoughts on it.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's how I did it. So yeah, and I want to always be checked, because I have no agenda. I have no goal. I just am doing what's happening, and that seemed like a great way to share how the Love and Light's moving through my unique cookie cutter shape, and show people how I express myself. And yeah, I thought that's so yeah, I resonate with your take, brother, and I stand by it. And the second I don't stand by something and I see through it, I will be the first one to say it. But hello, friends, says Becca Lynn. Namaste, Becca Lynn. Thank you so much. I thank you for coming over to the Kick. I don't think the Instagram comments are working. I saw you over there and I tried to send you a message, but Cam Scully's in the house. I saw him come in while we were talking. Namaste, brother. He says, you just like how he plays his role, as do many. You're not evaluating him as a human being. Exactly, brother. Amen. Sharzy said his nephew kicked the shit out of this kid, or body checked him in front of all his peers at the front of the school. The table's definitely turned now. So that's no kidding. Erica, I think that goes for politicians, artists, actors. I can hate how they act in movies, but love how they are as human beings. Amen. Ben. Thank you for all the knowledge and advice, says Ben to Ben.
Brother, I'm so proud of you for showing up. And I think that's not talked about enough. Like, as a dude at 16, jumping into a live stream and asking a vulnerable question like that, I'm proud, man. Holy shit. I mean, he jumped into a former professional athlete and a mental health professional's live stream and said, hey, how do I navigate this? That right there lets me know this kid has the tools to do great in his life no matter where he goes, because he can be vulnerable. Like, that's it. Like, I have no questions about it. Right on.
All you got to be is vulnerable, Ben Laguerre. That's all you got to do, brother. That's all you got to do, because that builds bridges with people. I think somebody in my life close to me for so long just could not be vulnerable, and then they started to evaluate, like, how deep are my, like, relationships actually? And once they started to look into them, they're like, they're so surface level. We don't talk about anything than, like, the weather and, like, movies and, like, what they ate last night. And it's like, yeah, that's not good. That's not deep. That's where you're at. But that's, like, you got to be able to call up a friend and be like, fuck, I just, like, diarrheaed out black shit and I fell off the toilet and I'm smattered in my own poop. Like, you got to be able to say fucking anything at the drop of it. I don't give a fuck. I can tell anybody anything. You have to cultivate those relationships to be vulnerable and give others the opportunity to judge you, because then they feel like they can open up. So you coming on a stream of people that you've just been watching for a couple of weeks and saying, hey man, I'm having a bad day. I got cut from baseball. Brother, that's all you need right there. That's all you need in the world.
Legend behavior. That's tells me everything. And once again, that's step one of it. And then you get to ask yourself, how do I want to respond? Like, when I think of myself responding in this way, what would make me proud? If I want to play baseball, like, am I going to commit to the drills, the small things, like the small daily things that I can do every single day? Like, and maybe it's not. Maybe this is you to reevaluate, to be like, do I love the sport? And if that answer is no, that's okay. That's okay. Like that, like, I think that's where, like, we get tripped up. I know me as a kid, I fell out. I was so burned out in sports. That's why everyone knows my story. That's, well, most people here do. That only you can shit your own pants and get a good excuse to leave work early. Sharzy. Oh my God. Sharzy cracks me the fuck up. But yeah, man, I think giving yourself permission just to be curious, ask yourself the heavy hitting questions. Because like I said, I burned out way early, way early. And if I look back and I could have asked myself that question, I would have said what I love about the game is actually the brains of the game. I love the relationships. I love the strategy. I love the X's and O's. I love the relationships. I love all of it. I love, that's what I loved about it. I always think I wanted to be a coach. And here I am as a certified mental health coach, but learning like you have to play the game to understand the game. When life gives you pants. That's a new life motto. Hey, when life gives you pants, shit them. Can you tell how many times I've used to leave early and always enjoyed the look on people's faces when you tell them that?
Lisa Jude's apparently had that one in the bank for a long time, ready to say that one. I remember playing. No, my dad was playing pickup basketball, Williams High School in Aurora. And I remember him playing, and it was like near the end, but I was running around with my brother. And it was one of those times when you're like 7, 8 years old and you're just ripping and you're having fun. You run around and you're like, yeah, I don't need to shit, but I got to fart. And then you shart and you shit your pants. And I had to go dad and tell him, and he had to leave the game. And he was a little, I remember he was like annoyed, but also amused, but more annoyed. Like he was going back and forth between the two. I remember that distinctly.
Dude, I don't even know what I want to say. I have one of the funniest shit stories. Like, I don't know if it's for this live.
Fuck yeah, it is.
All right. Can I tell, like, I'm going to have to go into storytelling mode.
Just go for it. Rip it. You're getting the full screen.
All right, here we are. Let me make sure this is probably bad. There, look at that. There was room for me to bring it in. So I was a senior in college. I was on my victory lap of college. So I was on my 5th year. And I was living next to a girl I had a massive crush on. And she had a boyfriend. So, you know, typically want what you can't have. Mm-hmm. And we used to go to Red Lobster, and we used to go to like Applebee's and Olive Garden. We used to go on like friend dates, you know, stuck in that zone. And one time we went out to Red Lobster and I probably had like 5 biscuits and then chicken fingers and ranch, because I don't actually like seafood, and the ranch and all the shit. And all of a sudden we get into the car, and she was driving, and the belly started. And I was like, oh no. You know, like you start getting the pains, and you're like, at that moment in time, I was very familiar with this pain. I had 30 minutes on the clock, and I knew fireworks. I know I've been in this situation. I've been in this situation before. And what's happening is she goes, oh my gosh, what I would love to do is stop at this, I don't know what it's called, like to go see these puppies at this, I don't want to say like a kennel, I guess. And I go, okay, we can do it real quick. And I get in there and I go, hey, do you guys have a bathroom? They go, no. That's where the story gets interesting. And I go, okay, hold on. We play with these puppies. We're on the ground, and clock's counting down, 20 minutes. I go next door to the restaurant. I go, hey, can I use a bathroom? No, we don't have it for customers. Okay. So we're driving around. I say, hey, can we stop at the Walmart right next door? I was like, real quick, I just have to run and I have to pee real quick. Yeah, no problem. And she goes, cool, I'll just stay out front and park here and you can run in. I run in. The men's bathroom is closed. Yes. The plot thickens. So I am now at the timer. we're under a minute. So I knock. No one says anything. I'm like, cool. I get in there. Both stalls are locked. And I go, what? I look at one kid swinging his legs on one, and the other one's just locked. And I go, no. I can't believe I'm telling this story. It's starting. You said like the farts are coming. Well, it's starting to be like the air's coming out, but it's being followed up. I look around, and it's either the urinal. No, it wasn't a urinal. It wasn't the urinal. It was either the sink or the trash can. And I chose the trash can.
Yes, great call.
So I turn around, take the lid off the trash can, and I prop it into the corner of the wall so it can sit there. And sounds are happening. I'm not going to make the sounds, but it is violent. It is disgusting. It is, and I'm drenched in sweat. This is the most crazy situation I've ever been in. The stall opens and I make eye contact with a little girl and the mother as this is happening. The other little child opens the door and comes out of the other stall. They washed their hands while I was sitting inside of a trash can propped against a wall, violently shitting. And I mean, sounds were happening. And all I could think was, please get out. And this poor person that has to come in next to take the trash out. I wash my hands. I get back in, and the person that I got into the car with goes, where were you? I go, the bathroom was down. There's a huge line. She goes, why are you sweating? And I go, the air conditioning is broken too. And that, my friend, was the time I shit in a trash can in a Walmart's female bathroom.
Congratulations, man. That was a fucking story, dude. Like, people are just loving it out here. You got Sharzy laughing. Sounds are happening. I've shit in a garbage can at a Buffalo Wild Wings due to bad service. That's the most Sharzy thing I've ever heard, when you would do that as retribution for people. Shari's just loving it. Linz, this is the kind of vulnerability we needed today. Hey, we just spoke it. We got to walk the talk. If you're gonna. I literally said, you got to tell people I shit my pants and fell over, and you literally just pulled that story out and just affirmed that that's being vulnerable. Look at that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I've only told that story to my boys over a wing night and a very limited group of people in my life. And once again, that happened in 2011.
Wow.
Time to talk about it. I probably should have told the girl that's actually what happened.
Hey, maybe that would have been super vulnerable, and she would have been like, this is my guy. This is what I'm looking for. He's so secure with himself.
Dude, when I tell you, it looked like I just played a full pickup game of basketball. I was pit stains, back sweat, under the chest sweat. I was in rough shape. I used to smoke cigs at the time, so that was a hell of a cig when I got back to my apartment.
Sharzy's gonna resonate with that one.
Dude, I cleaned myself up, all the stuff. I made sure shower, but I went outside, and that was a burn. I earned that one.
Man, what a treat. Yeah, like you said, for the poor person that had to clean that. They're probably still holding on to that one. They probably tell that story over wing night.
There's probably 20-year-old girls walking around talking about this time some guy was shitting in the bathroom at a Walmart, because they're in their 20s now. Yeah, so anytime you see a video pop up of mine, remember that ass was in a Walmart trash can.
I'm hoping that after my book comes out, I hope there's people out there that share stuff that I'm sure they may know about me and stuff because I love it. I'm just last night we had a guy come on. His name was Titus. He came on TikTok. I'll turn this around now. Or no. He came on TikTok and he was trying to bait me. So he comes in and he goes, what did he say? Hey man, why'd you leave the chatterbait chat? Like you were getting weird with the foot stuff. I just didn't know what to do. So something like that, right? And he was trying to fish to see if it would trigger me. And I just started laughing and we had a fun, chat back and forth about it. And he tried to keep it going. And I was like, brother, there's no thing here. And then I told the story about the Indian saint that says the kicked dog always yelps, right? Like if you kick a dog and it hurts, it's going to yelp. So you can find out people really quick if you get them to bark when you poke them a little bit. So then he was like, dude, I've got like 20 people to basically admit they go on chatterbait by doing this on different streams, just by like saying shit like that. And they get all triggered. And it was just like, oh, that's gold.
Oh, dude, that is funny. Oh my God.
Sharzy worked at a Walmart, so he can speak on this.
Oh my God.
Does anybody remember the website People of Walmart?
I do remember
What was
hearing
that?
about it. It's so my interpretation is Walmart gets a very unique group of people. Everyone's all love and light, but it was pointing fun at the people that would go into Walmart and maybe their overall appearance.
I remember going to a Walmart in New Jersey when I was there, and it was like a fucking zoo. It was just, I would never seen anything like it. Where I'm from up here, like it's like, Walmart's just like, it's not a big deal, but people go. I go there for the discount fruit, it's not a big deal. But you go in like I think you go in like suburbs and city areas, Walmarts can get wild.
Yeah. No, my partner is in Florida at the moment and she lives by a Walmart, or her house is by a Walmart. And Florida's a lawless land.
Oh, it is.
The Walmarts of Florida are probably where most of that website, I feel like, was getting a lot of its content.
Yes, absolutely. Mama Gabriel's in the house, I should say Mama Hutton. She's getting her name switched to that. Getting her British passport all set up so she can go, because now they're, UK is not part of Brexit and all that. So you got to get like a passport if you're a native, like if you're an immigrant's child, like you have to get a passport now. So she had to do all this stuff because she's going back to Scotland again. Where's your background from, brother? Like what's Meyer? Is that like German or something?
So that's my dad's side, but he's kind of like a mosh pot, a mixed bag. I'm mostly Polish. Yeah. My mom's 100% Polish. My great-grandparents, I think, were first generation. No, they came over on the boat, so my grandparents were first generation Americans from Poland. But yeah, no, their last name's Szymanski.
So your family's been here in America for a little bit. They came over a couple generations back.
Yeah. No, so I definitely got Myers as the last name, but everything else feels like it's Polish.
Namaste, Corey Katina, brother. Guy's been doing his thing for a while. We haven't heard much of you, brother. I guess you got back from Australia, all right? So Corey Katina, Ben, is a beer league goalie that can no longer play because he's getting reconstructive surgery. Maybe that should be coming up very soon. And he's been on the stream a couple times talking, but he also works as a chef. But he's like so into hockey that he beat down the door of all these different cup teams and finally found this Australian pro hockey league and got a job out there. And he flies down there twice a year and works in like their analytics department and like helping the team with their video and all that stuff. So this guy's like as grinding diehard as he gets. We haven't seen him in a while, but hope he's doing well.
Dude, surgery next Thursday, man. Sending you love, sending you well wishes, sending you everything goes well. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, that's awesome. I often think, like, once again, never played at that level, but everyone looks down on people like playing overseas and stuff like that. Like, if you didn't make it to whether it be the NBA, NHL, blah, 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 like, I would love to go play in some dope ass place in a different culture and vibe and like make great money doing it. Like, for that, like, yeah. I think about that even with like the mental health work we talk about, like with our community and stuff like that, just being able to be like, I would love to just go and spend months in a place and just see what else is out there, because I feel like I'm yearning for it. But best of luck with surgery.
it makes sense with Corey too, because it's the opposite season. So we've had him on the stream when he's been less busy, but now he's got the hockey season going, and they're having a rough start. They won the championship the last 2 years, I believe, but sounds like having a rough start to the year. But yeah, dude, that's gonna be a journey. He was worried that he may not, get to play beer league hockey again, but healing from these surgeries and big ones is so much different. And I was so ignorant being a professional athlete. I'm like, oh, shoulder surgery, 8 months, no problem. Like, because that's your job to get better and you have every resource. It's totally different when you're living normal life. So I didn't even, like, you always hear hips and knees. I didn't even know they did reconstructive shoulder surgery. So that's wild.
Yeah.
Lisa and Linz are really pumped to do their ancestry spit DNA test to find out. Linz wants to know if she's got German Bavarian blood in her, because that's like her place she wants to go live. She wants to go live in like a place where there's no sun and it's always raining. That's like her jam.
Oh, I don't share that.
Dana says, I think any chance to have someone to pay me to go travel and be part of the culture is a no-brainer. Amen. There's like a touring. Like there's like this people that put on events where they take hockey players from North America and they take them to Australia to do like a tour, and they like play charity events and stuff. And I would love to do that sometime. They do one in Scotland and they do one in Australia. That would be so cool to do one of those.
Yeah, that would be really sick. I'm like looking for that opportunity of like, where can I just weasel my way into? Help people in dope ass countries. Like, imagine like going to like Italy and just being like, yeah, they probably don't need as much mental health help because it's fucking Italy.
Mm-hmm. A guy that played here for the Attack, and then he ended up playing a bit in the NHL, played the American League. He ended up just going to Europe, playing in some other leagues, but then he finally landed in like Bolzano, which is like in the Swiss Alps of Italy, and just loved it so much, just like never came back pretty much. Like, I think he got like passport, met a girl, like now he coaches over there. He just like loves it. Like just loves it. That's what I thought I was going to be doing. If my wrist didn't give out, I would have probably signed with the Panthers that year they won the cup. I would have tried to maybe I would have been the minors all year. I don't know. I would have tried to get up there. But if my wrist kept going downhill and my career kind of kept deteriorating, but I could still play, I probably would have ended up in Europe and gone over there, and we would have been bouncing around. And over there you can play in a league, but like all the countries are so close. You can get like the weekend off and like travel like 6 countries. You know what I mean? It would have been so cool to do that, but that just wasn't in the cards, folks. The Love and Light was calling on the stream in.
Not yet, man. Who knows where we end up? We might be taking a community call from the Swiss Alps at some point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Yeah, that's going to be yeah. You should tell everybody what you've been doing with your stories, man, with your story setting. I think everybody would love that, because Erica, she's saying Aussie 1 is early July. This is Corey. My head coach is the promoter. Okay, of course your head coach is the promoter of that Aussie thing in early July. But yeah, tell everybody, because Erica did that exercise where she wrote her old narrative of what was like, didn't want to serve her anymore, and then she wrote her new story. So tell everybody what you're tapping into.
So something I just started doing, I want to create kind of a handful of stories, but I just started with one. So me and Gabes are working on our course and our practice container and stuff like that. And something I work through is feeling I'm worth it being good. So like I feel like I'm going to put all this stuff in and it's just going to, like, that's my worry. Like, that's something, like, I feel like the narrative that just plays in my head. And I made an agreement to myself for Gabes, essentially. I was like, I'm not bringing that energy to this. I'm going to do everything I can to rewrite the narrative, because he's been so good at showing up, helping me work through that stuff. So I said, what can I do on my end? And that was, I started working with AI a little bit, and I said, I gave it all the numbers, all of our modules, all of the things. And I said, I want you to write me a 12 to 18 month creative story of what this will look like, what my life will be like, what my monthly income will look like, all of the things. And I want you to be as creative and but realistic. I don't want it to be like, I want this to be like a manifesting document that I'm going to talk to myself and read it every single day. So I did that. It's like 9 pages. And what I'm doing this week is I'm actually going to record it, me saying it, and I'm going to start listening to it at night as I'm falling asleep. So it's going to be like me talking to my subconscious mind through my voice, because I'll resonate with myself, and it will just be, so it's going to be me talking in the third person, me talking in first person, whatever it is. But and yeah, so that's the kind of game I'm going to be playing a little bit, is seeing how that works out. So I'm going to create a couple more stories. and then I'm going to have what feels like a different one for every night of the week. Or maybe it'll just be one to start out to see how it feels.
Damn, I mean, that's ambitious. Yeah, 7 different ones. That'd be crazy. I kind of want to read the fucking first one you have. I'm like, this sounds
Want
like
me to send it to
awesome
you?
read.
I'll send it to you right now.
It'd be freaking sweet. Because it's like that. It's interesting part of the journey of like, I don't know where I'm at with mine. It's like it's all about removing and not putting more in, but it's playing like both sides of it, saying like, yeah, I'm the diamond and I'm everything and I don't need anything, but I also have this mud on the diamond. It needs to be washed off. So it's like I can know one while still working away at the deconditioning or reprogramming of my subconscious at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But in my document, it says one of the traps is always revisit and reevaluate this, because if washing off the diamond becomes perpetual and it's just another escape from never landing, like it's always like double checking and checking in to where are you in the Tao? Are you too far one way, too far the other way? So yeah.
Well, that's the hamster wheel we talk on. We get stuck on the hamster wheel. Like we think of healing as being healed, but no, we get caught in the action, and the escape is the act of healing. And that's the whole thing. It's like we have to leave time to integrate things, or if we're always in this spot of trying to do things and trying to be that, it's I had something come through on a call, and see if it resonates with you. Is this an escape or is this a retreat? And meaning like retreat, like are you doing this because you're escaping something, or are you doing this as like a retreat, like not going back, but like is this a celebration, a getaway, a place of peace, love, light? Like is it an escape or is it a retreat? And that they wanted to like give me this answer right away, and they went, holy shit, it's an escape. And I go, something to think about. So it came through for somebody. It might help somebody else out. Who knows?
That's where this thing gets so subtle. My document says too, it's like even welcoming a bad feeling is escaping. Ooh. That is so deep.
Yeah.
Even welcoming a bad feeling, saying I'm on this love and light journey and I know I got to release my blockages. So I want to bring on all the blockages, bring them on. I want it, come closer to me. It's like, that's an escape too, because that's the mind still doing something. I find that so fascinating. So fascinating. I love that. Like, because I've definitely done that. I'm that masochist hockey player. I got to go harder. I got to train harder. Give me the pain. Give me the pain. That means I get better. It's like, that's just another way to perpetuate the problem. And that's why I love that line from my buddy I always share, is just like, if your life ain't flowing, it's because you're trying too hard. And it's that trying too hard that's blocking it from flowing. Like it's just like this turntable door that swings both ways, and it can just get you, it can hit you both ways.
Absolutely. I sent you it, but I sent you the wrong one. So I sent you the one that I didn't update yet. Yeah, man. I think that's where I got stuck for a long time. What it is sort of like bad attention is better than no attention.
Is that right? No, I don't know if I agree with that one.
And I'm trying to sit with it. I'm trying to think, is he saying like bad attention, I mean like unwanted attention? Like I'm sitting in a feeling I don't like, but I'm sitting with that attention instead of not giving it attention is better. And that I would be like, yeah, once again, who gives a shit if I agree or not? If that's
Sorry, Gabriel, will you post what you just said in the group? The swinging do of flowing and doing. Oh, the swinging door of flowing and doing. I like. Okay, all right. I'll make a note of the text myself that. Swinging door, Shari. What did Dana say here? I do not agree with that saying. I was saying some people feel that way. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, people say that bad attention is better than no attention. It's like, no attention is the best. Not zeroing in on anything. You're supposed to stay as the open space, as the sky. You don't go, I'm going to go into this cloud. I'm going to go into this cloud. I'm going to this cloud. Because then it's, you just rest as the sky. The sky doesn't need to do anything. So that's kind of that.
Yeah, that's like what everyone says about like bad publicity is better than no publicity. And it's like, yeah, maybe depending on what you're trying to bring in.
Erica's making audio tapes the same way you're making stories.
Ooh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
All good, Dana, brother. No worries. These complex topics get going. Sharzy, every time I walk through a swinging door, I gotta say this town isn't big enough for the two of us.
Dude, there's somebody on Instagram that says, here's a couple of bits you can try out. And it's just comments like that. It's like, yeah, next time you walk into or go into a new store, you just look at the clerk and you say, this store isn't big enough for the both of us. Like, and it's the funniest shit. Sharzy, you should start something like that. I would watch the shit out of it. Sure, do you do stand up or anything like that? Because you're a funny fucking dude.
I've said this so many times, like he's got to go do an open mic or something.
Yeah, for sure.
When I'm in New York City, my right-hand woman lady knows some place that does like this open mic, and she was asking like, would the guy let me go up there? And she's like, you'd have like 7 minutes to say something. I'm like, what the fuck would I say? She's like, just an opportunity for you to go test it, like basically just stretch your wings and see what happens. And I was like, damn, could I make like a little 7-minute story basically of like, because I'm thinking like I have to go there and just like do comedy. It's like, no, you don't do anything. It's open mic. So it's to be like, can I just go up there and basically take one of the stories that I've told a million times, just draw it out longer and just kind of have fun with it and just see what happens, see if it's entertaining to, I don't know. Like, so I don't think it's like for sure or anything, but that would be, I used to think that would just be absolutely terrifying. And now I just go, that sounds so fucking exciting. I used to think I would never in a million years do an improv class. And now I would do one right now if I could. Like, it just excites the shit out of me.
I agree. Did I ever tell you so one of my things I always wanted to be, I always wanted to grow up to be a stand-up comedian when I was younger. But since I stopped making fun of myself, I became a lot less funny. And could you guess what you think my number one thing I wanted to be growing up?
Not a stand-up comedian? You're saying something else?
So it's in the realm of stand-up comedian.
Is this something to do with Broadway? Did you want to be like a Broadway actor or something? No, probably not that. Stand-up comedian, not a stand-up comedian, but it's in that vein.
Ben could tell his poop story. I could.
He could tell his poop story. He absolutely could. Okay, I can't. What is it? What is it, bud?
I always wanted to be like a late night host.
Ah,
like Craig. So like I love Craig Ferguson. I loved Conan O'Brien. Those
Craig
two are my
Ferguson's
favorites.
cool.
And I love Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart. But yeah, I like Conan O'Brien and Craig Ferguson were like my two favorite. A Clown in the Circus. No. SNL would be funny, but no, I always wanted to be like, I loved, Jimmy Carson. That's his name, right? Jimmy Carson I love Jimmy Carson. Is it Jimmy Carson? Johnny Carson. Sorry. Johnny Carson. I like Johnny Carson. But yeah, that's what I always want to do. I could do you could do like a 5 to 10 minute monologue, do your stand-up, do your jokes, and then you get to just go and vibe with people and have conversations and shit like that. That's I still want to do that.
Hey, still want to do that. Maybe you have a late night show one day, brother, called Somebody Like You.
I have a podcast. I did a couple podcast episodes. I used to fuck around on OBS a lot. And I have like, I started creating them in talk show ways where I'd have different, I had like weekly wisdom, daily nuggets. And like, I wasn't bringing people on the talk show. I was just doing it myself, but I was messing around I've been at this for some years now. I've gone through some ideas.
You have, but I could totally see that. The late night, Somebody Like You late night show with Ben Myers, like I that's already very real. Your energy just holding us. It'd be like Ellen DeGeneres, but Ben's version, but not toxic. It would just be like so much fun.
You would have to be my first guest.
Oh, that'd be wild, dude.
That'd be insane. So if anybody knows anybody in showbiz and they're looking for an unproven late night host,
Stephen Colbert's almost done?
Almost the end of this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Retiring.
Well, forced retirement.
Oh, really? How so?
The Big Orange.
Oh, really?
Then CBS was like, we're going to cancel his show because he's not making enough money. But it's because he was talking shit he was holding people accountable and using their words.
Oh, okay. So classic. That's why Dana's tuned down to this, because Dana's a big warrior against the orange guy. Dude, know what that makes? I mean, all I know about, I didn't know much about Stephen Colbert until I saw that clip of him talking to Anderson Cooper and him being like, your son died or whatever it was. And he's just like, yeah, I don't regret that or whatever. Just like it opened me up to more love and light. It's like, damn, that's what sticks with me.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is the way me and Gabes are moving now. I'm his Andy. And I love that role. So if I ever get to become the whatever, I would love him to be like my first big go.
Look, I'll be straight up honest with you people. Somebody asked me the other day at the gym, and I just chose to answer at the time, just a step down off the top of just saying, what do you like? What's the point of you doing all the stuff you're doing? And I said, to lessen suffering. Like that's like the meat monkey spacesuit answer. But in truth, like I have no goal anymore with this. There's no goal. There's no dream. There's no, like, that's literally the more there's no goals with this. So if I end up being Ben's Andy, I don't give a flying fuck. Whatever, like, who cares? If I have fruit in my fridge, I have cool people to hang out with in love and light, or I don't, I'm gonna be happy. I don't give a shit. So bring it on. I'll be whatever the fuck Ben needs me to be. Whatever the love and light asks of me, I'm down. If that's Ben's Andy, fuck yeah, dude. I'll be learn tap dancing if I need to.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. What did you say? It's late night with somebody like you? That's the whole thing, though. I'm going by somebody like you.
I'm like genius. It's like, who wouldn't want to go like the late night show with James Corden? The late night show with somebody like you. Like that is fucking money.
Yeah, Dana said something too. Do a late night YouTube show. TV ratings are down. What if me and you did one night of a YouTube late night show? That'd be fun.
That's where everything in the world's going. Everything I'm seeing from all the people that make content and predict trends and everything's going live. That fucking guy, Alex Honnold, climbed the tallest building in the world with no ropes in like 30 fucking whatever hour and a half he did it in on a live stream on Netflix. Everybody watched it. People want the live action again, man.
Holy shit. We're doing it. Or I should say I'm doing it. We'll see. But I can't do it I can't do it from 7 to 9. This would be my audience.
That's true.
I have to find a time and a place. Maybe it'd be Thursday or fuck. Okay. Off of that topic now.
It's just going to be so cool to see, honestly, where everyone in this community is. Like, it's already done. Like, it's already done that Ben has a late night show. It's already done that I'm traveling North America in my bus in a podcast studio and my fruit in the back, just in real life streaming with people following me with cameras everywhere I go. It's already done. So it's just a matter of where are you all going to be in your journeys by then? Is it going to be something that all of you are, Linz, for example, is a criminal defense lawyer speaking German in Germany. And one day she just happens to notice that, oh, I saw that video. Oh, there's Gabriel. There's Gabriel and Ben doing their thing. They said it was already done 20 years ago, and they're now where they are. And it's just like, who knows where you're all going to be? We'll be doing our thing, that's for sure. And you'll be doing your thing. How has the love and light affected your life? How has it flowed through your life? How's it flowing to people in your life? I got a message today from a hockey player that Dana's going to love this. Oh, Dana's going to love this. I got a message from a hockey player who's from a military family, Boston area, heavy Christian family with a gay brother, and is so MAGA. He will not let go of supporting Trump. It's like, dude, you cannot be Christian. Anyway, we've had all these talks and we've gone places. He sent me a message today, 45-second voice note. I haven't heard him send a voice note. I don't even think he's ever have. And he's just like, Gabes, I love you, man. I know we have our differences and things, but I always love you. And I'm on a 50-hour fast right now, coming up on 50 hours. I feel so clear. I'm just doing it to like touch into myself. And I wouldn't be doing that if you didn't talk about love and light on your stream all the time and all these things in your videos and stuff. And I'm just like, holy fuck, man. Like, that is right before I came on here. I heard that. It's like, you start hearing shit like that. And then another person just saying, and again, the best part was another guy going, I know what you mean about the love and light moving through. Cause he's like, I picked it up from just going through you. And he's like, I see kids in my life picking it up now. Like, and I'm like, thank you. it's not me. And there's like, yes, I get what you're fucking saying, but like we say it because we want to be polite, but it's not anybody. It's all. He's like, yes, man, that's it, brother. Thank you. Fuck yeah, dude.
When you say, and it's already done, it's just the done part is just slowly revealing itself. And that moment of just like, hey, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to know this part can still be true. I can still be, but like, I wouldn't be doing this without you. They're like, just because you don't agree with one thing somebody says doesn't mean you can't take away 0.1 or 0.5 or 10% of something else. Like, that's why we ask ourselves, like, how does this resonate? Dude, I love that. And once again, the coolest thing is this is you being your true self, not some egoic representation of it, all of that stuff. Like, it's you being true to yourself and walking the walk, even when Ratko Gudis becomes into our awareness.
Yeah, because you don't want to create people ask me, I want to create a life I don't want to escape from. I didn't even know I wanted to escape from hockey, but why would we be anything but ourselves? Because if you are anything but yourself, you're going to create something that you don't even like. So what? Just like, it's so dumb. Just like literally be yourself, and then you just like you just have to show up. You just show up as a defense lawyer as Linz. You just get to show up as a freaking analytics whiz or GM like Corey Katina of a hockey team. You just get to show up because you've become it in the process. That's what's freedom to me. You don't need, you're not expecting anything ever.
It's when you surround yourself with the right, even the right people. It's like, you notice when we play together, when we do work together, when we're in the sandbox, like there's days that feel like on paper they would be so unproductive, but then the next time we jump on a call, we go, oh my God, it was what we're creating. We just are living what we're creating. It's once again, when you embody it and you do all of this stuff, whew, dude, you're not creating anything. You're just being. The more you be, I guess the more you be, the more you create. It's not the other way around. I want to also say to Corey Katina, I see you and I love that idea. It's been floating in my head of doing it after and doing something from like 9 to 10 or something like that.
Because he said you just go from one to the next.
It'd be really, you got my wheels turned. I wanted to give you the tip of the hat there because I saw it and I go, that's actually a really good idea. Thank you for that, Corey.
The late night. Oh.
So from 7:15 to 8. Brother, I can't stop after 45 minutes. I apologize.
No, dude. What? No, you're full fucking 2 hours. That was only just because I was like, hey, like, you got other things to do or whatever. You were totally welcome to be on the whole thing twice a week.
Dude, I also didn't say anything. I wasn't here last night, so I wanted to wish everybody in here a happy belated Mother's Day to those celebrating, those not. Just happy celebrating women and Feminine Energy Day. I very much appreciate all the love, the light in the stream, and all of that stuff. So I wasn't in here yesterday to say that, but I wanted to kind of express that belated happy Mother's Day to all. And I know that day is not always a celebration day. That can bring up a lot of grief for people too. So if that brings up that emotion too, I just want to know. I want to help you know I see you, I feel you, and I love you. I just wanted to kind of bring that out.
A lot of what I heard yesterday, and I think this is just human nature or whether that, that's their experience. But anyway, I heard a lot of yesterday from different mothers, whether it was on social, here at the office or whatever, was, how was your Mother's Day? And it was like, oh, it was nice. They tried. I heard a lot of that.
That's me and my mom were talking about it. It's not a big day for us because she's like, I see you and I talk to you all of the time. It's like every day is Mother's Day. And, you love hearing that as a son, but like, it's one of those things. It's just like, it's not about the gifts. It's not about the events. It's not about the thing. It's about the time, the attention, and the quality. And I think that's what's most important. And when you try to go above and beyond, if that's how people like to receive, wonderful. But I think a lot of times, I'm not a mom, so I can't speak for everybody or anybody really, but it's just about quality time. That's the stuff you remember and you take with you. I know that's what I take. The time I get to sit with my mom for like even 10 minutes, I go, what a fucking day. God, how lucky am I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I try to tell my mom. It's like, we're celebrating every day, and we're celebrating every moment. This isn't just some special day.
Dude, literally.
Every morning I come up, I go to bed at night because I come home and I talk to her for a bit before bed, and then I come up the stairs every morning. Here comes my feet up the stairs. And I say the night before, I say, I'll see you in this next present moment when I come up the stairs. All right. And then because Ram Dass has this great video that I have saved, and he goes, every morning when your kids come down for breakfast, this is the first time you're meeting them all over again. This is it. This is Buddha meeting Buddha. This is it. There's nothing else. Buddha meeting Buddha over rice and tea, coffee and toast, or whatever. Like, if this isn't good enough, nothing will ever be good enough. This is it. Every time you see your loved one, it's the first and the last time you'll ever see them. It's so crazy to think about.
Do you ever get caught up in thinking, because I agree with that, and I think, and I feel that. Do you ever, or have you ever, because I don't feel like you're in this space right now, but I know it's something I get tripped up on sometimes is, I'm not expressing how I wish I was expressing it. I judge myself for like, you're not feeling it the way you should be feeling it. I get caught in that. Like, I wish I was more of this, or I wish I was able to express it this way. And then there's days where I sit there and I go, for who? And that's just something I know. I don't know if anybody else kind of gets in that thing. It's just like, I wish I was able to express my emotions more. But what is more? That might be I don't know. That's a place I kind of get.
The language is still limiting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my second mushroom trip. I didn't talk for like 3 hours after. I was like, what's the fucking point? Doesn't matter. Nothing I could say. I was just laughing. My mother and brother would ask me a question. I just start laughing and just shake my head. Like, there's nothing I can do to ever explain what I'm feeling. I cannot tell you how much I love you. It seems stupid to try. It felt like, and that's the first time I ever really understood why, like, there's people that take vows of silence for the rest of their life and stuff. I was like, fuck, that's deep. Ben, I feel you. I do the same thing. Feel it's working on grace and self-acceptance. My mama is so strong. My goodness, I love having a sliver of her strength. And yes, Ben, I always feel I didn't explain it right to be understood, but I'm learning to get out of that thought spiral.
Jesse, thank you, everyone. I appreciate. I'm happy that I guess I'm not happy that resonates with you, because I can understand. But yeah, you're seen too. That's something And if you were to ask my mom, I think she's on Instagram. She'll be like, no, of course I know that. But it's like, I wish I want to do more, like that kind of stuff. It's just like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe that I always say like, I never feel like I'm enough. And it's not on her, my dad. It's me like, why? So it's the whole self-acceptance and grace thing. It's that kind of stuff.
Cam Jansen. Namaste, Cam Jansen, former NHL tough guy, host of the Cam and Strick podcast. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well.
What a fuck! I love that name. That's an animal name.
Guy was a tank. Still is. We would have had a great fight though, because he would have beat me up, but he loves to fight for a long time, and so did I. So it would have been really long and fun. Dana, I heard a great thing about talking about new medical students that translate. The students all understand medicine. They just cannot speak it very well. We all understand the love and light. We just have to learn to speak it. Amen, Dana. Amen, brother. So true. You just got to acquire the vernacular. You got to learn to speak it. You got to learn to feel comfortable. You think it felt comfortable the first 6,000 times I said namaste? Fuck no. Took a long time for that to be like real, but I practiced it. I practiced embodying it until I did. Erica, thank you for your poop vulnerability tonight. You are enough, and we love you, poop and all. Amen. Sharzy, I watched Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter with friends and their parents on mushrooms and couldn't stop laughing. Their parents thought it was crazy until they caught me eating more mushrooms during the movie. What the fuck? Oh, God, Sharzy. Holy. Shari, how do people feel with waking up with self-doubt? Seems lately happening more. Meditating helps. Feels like I must have had processing dreams. Some say ego comes in quickly at wake up and you have to train it. Well, that's a loaded thing right for the end of stream, Shari. We're going to have to skip that one. That's a whole topic in there. But yeah, comes in quickly at wake up and you have to train it. That's why I advocate for meditating as soon as you wake up in the morning. That is a big reason why.
Yeah, that could be a big long conversation. I want to honor that as well. But I'm in alignment with Gabe's on that. It's something that's really helped me is mine happens later in the day, but in the morning the first thing I do is qigong, meditation, drinking water. And from there I feel like it just starts to kind of drain. But yeah, a morning routine would definitely is what helped me for sure.
Well, we're just going wire to wire today, people. We had Ben on right from the get-go before we even knew he was on, jammed to the tunes. We got 38 seconds to be off here now, but look how great the community is. They always know it's time to go. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you so much. Ben, it was a pleasure, man. We just had a short week here with three streams, but we'll be back full-time next week. But, man, always a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for accepting me and my poop stories and all. And as always, I am just somebody like you. And,
Namaste. Somebody like you, fellow waves. Thank you. Goodbye. Guten Tag.